MMOs. Everyone searches for the perfect MMO. It doesn't exist. The one you choose is the best. Yes, and if you hate it, take a breather from it. You need it. The one I chose is the Elder Scrolls Online. Many people, surprisingly to me, dislike it or even hate it. That's fine. There are as many people hating their favorite MMOs. Why I play ESO? Well, it's the world of Elder Scrolls. There's a ton of item sets, builds, quests, main and side, which are all voice acted unlike other games, and of course it's Elder Scrolls, so there is lore, and this universe has a ton of lore. Hello, I'm the Steel Merchant. Like most RPGs, Elder Scrolls Online has classes, 6 to be exact: Templar, Nightblade, Sorcerer, Dragon Knight, Warden, Necromancer and Arcanist. They all have their playstyles, builds. Some classes are better at other roles than others, but today I don't want to speak about them. I want to speak about the lore of those classes. I was thinking, which one should I begin with? First I thought that, of course, the class I play the most, my main, should be the one I talk about first, but I decided against it. I will first speak about my second favorite. Because of subclass system, I always use this class as much as my main. It's the Sorcerer. Of course, Sorcerer can simply be one word for mage, or mage can be a word for wizards and sorcerers, and wizards can be a word for mages and sorcerers. Okay, never mind. Sorcerers, like all other classes, have 3 skill lines. This shows us that they specialize in 3 aspects of magic: the Daedric Summoning, Dark Magic and Storm Calling. Those 3 are actually a specialized combination of 2 schools of magic: Destruction and Conjuration, although a little bit of Restoration can be also said to be used by sorcerers. However, sorcerers are known for use of Dark Magic and summoning of Daedra to the people of Tamriel. This makes people see them as evil and mistake them for necromancers, who they are not. Neither are they evil, more so they are chaotic, especially the sorcerers of the Telvanni, who are most well known of sorcerers, along those with the Mages Guild. Sorcerers, as should be obvious, are found in those 2 factions. What makes them different from other mages is their focus on the borderline of magic. That I mean things that are, or rather can be, extremely dangerous but aren't illegal, like necromancy. Those 2 extremely dangerous being the Daedric Summoning and Dark Magic. They also specialize in lightning or thunder magic. Is it necessarily more dangerous than, for example, frost or fire? I don't think so, but sorcerers could definitively say so. What they would say for sure is that thunder magic has more applications than other parts of destruction magic if it comes to elemental magic. Is that necessarily the truth? I don't think so, but sorcerers surely believe so. Let's take a look at each pillar of magic chosen by and making sorcerers who they are at the time of the Second Era. Daedric Summoning, the hardest, most powerful, yet most dangerous types of spells from the Conjuration magic. As the name suggests, it is used to summon Daedra from the Oblivion. Over the games, we are able to summon many Daedric minions, be it Atronach, Dremora, or even Ogryms and Golden Saints in Morrowind. In ESO, Sorcerer cannot summon those more powerful Daedra like Dremora or Ogryms. However, they can summon Scamps, which they can empower with Oblivion magic, a Clanfear empowered by Oblivion magic, a Winged Twilight and a powerful Storm Atronach. It seems to be more powerful than others of its kind, however, it can only be summoned for a limited time, unlike other lesser Daedra. Although Winged Twilights aren't a lesser Daedra, maybe because it's imbued with so much power it causes the Atronach to disappear much quicker than it normally does. Maybe. Although summoned Daedra, even the small, seemingly weak scamps need to have a binding spell cast on them to gain control over them. Sorcerers in ESO seem to cast the binding within the summoning spell, making the summoning much safer. What's more, sorcerers not only use conjuration school if it comes to Daedric summoning, they combine it with destruction magic. In-game, the spell of Daedric Curse is shown of how sorcerers do so. They can summon not minions but power of Oblivion itself to set an exploding curse on the opponents. That's not all. More experienced sorcerers can create wards of Oblivion energy to protect themselves, even combining it with restoration magic for healing. Of course, to show their full mastery over conjuration, sorcerers can summon bound Daedric armor or weapons. Whatever they summon them or create them, I think doesn't matter. What matters is that they can use Oblivion magics to do so. Changing pure Oblivion power into bound armor and armaments requires great skill. With taking a simple quick look at one of those three pillars of sorcerer's magic, we can already see that indeed they combine three schools of magic: destruction, conjuration and restoration. They do so naturally without any bounds to this mixing of schools. Although specialized in pure Oblivion energy, flexibility they use it with cannot be understated. Stormcalling once again shows us the ease with which sorcerers combine the schools of magic they specialize in. Of course, it's mainly a source of powerful destruction magic in lightning form. Clear examples are spells of Mage's Fury, which is simply calling down a lightning bolt to strike an enemy, Lightning Splash, which creates an area where the sorcerer unleashes many bolts of lightning, and Overload spell. With this spell, sorcerer focuses power of lightning within their hands, empowering all attacks with Fury of Thunder. Those three are purely destruction magic, yet lightning form, a technique where sorcerers manifest as pure lightning, is a combination of destruction magic and conjuration. The school of magic which one may think sorcerers would never use is also used: alteration. After all, to make one's body into pure lightning, one needs to unleash it by destruction magic, conjure it around your body, and then alter your whole body to become the element itself. This spell, which sounds impossible to pull off, is the second spell sorcerers learn in the way of Stormcalling, the second right after a simple lightning strike. Even more so, they can both alter themselves into pure electric energy, they can be it while creating a hurricane of lightning around them at the same time, one which grows all the time. Maybe there is something to sorcerers boasting after all. Search is an interesting spell. In its short descriptions, it is said that a sorcerer invokes the name of Daedric Princess Meridia for power and healing. Is this really the case? It could be, after all she is one of the good Daedra. However, it's a little bit strange that a sorcerer would invoke a name of a Daedric princess for a spell. Maybe instead sorcerers learned how to harness her Oblivion energy in form of a surge of energy, in form of lightning through their nervous system. Meridia is after all about healing and destroying of the Daedra, also the undead. It could be that power coming from her Oblivion plane doesn't cause a surge of energy within the nerves of a sorcerer to be fried. Calling her name could be a way to get on her good side, a show of respect, a plea of please don't let this spell fry me from the inside. A little bit funny, would show how powerful yet insignificant sorcerers are to a Daedric princess. This all, however, is simply my speculation. Last use of the destruction magic in form of lightning is a short teleport known simply as Blink. Sorcerers turn themselves into pure lightning, flying forward. This causes all in their way to be stunned by energy of thunder. Easy, pure form of lightning magic, although it's cooler in my opinion how Vanus Galerion describes it as riding the lightning bolt cast by the sorcerer. With two pillars of magic that make a sorcerer during the second era of Tamriel, we already can see that their specialization is far from being a limitation. This we could already see from one of their lines of power. From taking a look at two, we can surely say that sorcerers are really what they say they are. But there's the third form of power that makes sorcerers who they are: dark magic. Like it was spoken before, many people immediately think of necromancy or blood magic when they think of dark magic. Others will think of Daedric magic. However, dark magic is a magic of its own. It focuses on negating enemy spells, draining of enemy magic or other forms of strength like stamina, puts curses and other debilitations on enemies. Like previous skill lines, it may seem at first sight to be a way of magic focused on cursing, weakening the enemy, but it isn't. Like previous two, it's way more flexible, giving a sorcerer a way to both damage enemies directly, negate their magic, heal themselves and put damaging traps. Two of the damaging spells of this line come in form of Crystal Shard and Daedric Mines. Crystal Shard is a crystal formed of dark energy cast onto the enemies of a sorcerer. However, sorcerers can also use it to empower their regular attacks. Daedric Mines are a trap, mines of deadly Daedric power, which damage every enemy which steps on them. Those can also be used in an opposite way to shield the sorcerer from incoming damage. Once again, only from those two spells we can see a masterful combination of conjuration and distraction schools of magic. Yet sorcerers can stun their enemies with a rune prison. They can use it to damage their enemies if they wish so, or set a defensive rune on themselves which sprangs when the caster is hit and the attacker is imprisoned in a runic cell. Immobilizing enemies is also possible thanks to encase spells. There's a variation of this spell that can be used for healing while setting debilitations on enemies. This spell can also be used to cause harm to enemies. Same is when it comes to the ultimate power of this way of magic, which is to negate magic. A sorcerer is able to create a globe of suppression where enemies cannot use magic. This area can heal allies or do harm to the enemies. Once again, spells which are a wonderful combination of distraction and restoration, not only making sorcerers immense potential dealers of harm, but also healers, which brings me to their last spell. Is the spell or a bargain? It is called a dark exchange. A sorcerer is said to bargain with darkness to heal themselves and bring back some of their magic energy back. This eats away on the stamina of a sorcerer, like they give their physical endurance for health and magic power. To what they give it is unknown. The bargain with darkness, but what is it? Simply a force? A being? It isn't said, yet it can go both ways. So-called arcane warriors, sorcerers who focus on physical combat, can exchange magicka for return of their stamina. Whatever they do deals with takes all the currency, as long as it's being given an equivalent exchange. Although sorcerers use the most dangerous of magic, therefore are shunned by many, they are the ones who are best equipped to deal with dark powers, as they know them well. Not only that, they have mastered those arts, not only controlling them. Fools are those who think that sorcerers foolishly limit themselves to dealings with danger and distraction magic. Their specialization opens them ways to powers mages can only dream of. Here comes fear and envy. Dark arts are dangerous, yes, but when controlled and masters, give power to achieve anything one desires. Those who didn't have the talent or lack the courage to follow a sorcerer's path despise them. True sorcerers do not care. They are above them. They are danger, safety, power, destruction and restoration, summoners and masters of arcane. Freedom and power is theirs. Just look at the Telvanni filled with sorcerers. This power isn't for many to follow, for fewer to gain, handful to master, yet it is power. Thank you for watching. I ask you to use two spells, and I know that you know them. A spell of liking this video and a spell of subscribing. However, I humbly ask you to only like and subscribe this video if you feel like it. It is your choice. Now, thank you for watching and goodbye.